Hey, Bill O'Reilly here. This is the Talking Points Memo for Newsmax. The real story of the impeachment madness. So, Democrats believe that President Trump should not be president. That's where we start. So, for 2 years, we had the Russian collusion situation. And then the special counsel, Robert Mueller, after spending $30 million of taxpayer money, came back and said, really wasn't any collusion, obstruction of justice, I don't know, and on and on and on. It was a big nothing. So Americans said, well, all right, let's move ahead. President Trump has 2 more years. But the zealots, the anti-Trump forces said, no way. And now they're trying to impeach the president over a phone call he made to the Ukrainian president. I'm not going to get into that because if you're following the news, you know it's just insane, all right? But the real reason this is happening is about the U.S. Justice Department and a man named John Durham. That's why impeachment is happening. So listen up. Attorney General William Barr appointed Mr. Durham, who is a respected U.S. attorney from Connecticut, to investigate the origins and alleged crimes involved by federal agencies in the Russia collusion investigation. Mueller did not do that. So Mr. Durham is now looking into FBI, CIA, State Department, and Department of Defense. Those 4. The word is that John Durham is accumulating information at a rapid rate. And the information says elements within the federal government were determined to ruin the Trump presidency by selective leaks to the press about stuff that may or may not be true. Now, you know the head of the FBI, James Comey, was fired. The assistant head of the FBI, McCabe, was fired. And a whole bunch of other people are suspect. So if Durham comes back and he has the power to indict, we think there's a grand jury already in place. We don't know for sure. This is ultra, ultra secret. But if Durham comes back with indictments against Comey, McCabe, people in the CIA, people in the State Department under Barack Obama, Department of Defense, if he says they did illegal things, the government's going to prosecute that. That'll take a while. And it'll overlap the presidential election. But President Trump can rightly say the government of the United States has indicted former Obama administration officials for trying to upend his administration and his campaign. Donald Trump can make that a huge campaign theme. So the anti-Trump forces in the media and the Democratic Party cannot allow that to happen without something to balance it. Therefore, you have impeachment. Now, I've said from the very beginning, there's no crime here. There's no reason that a sitting president, no matter who he was or she was, would be removed for trying to dig up dirt on a political opponent. That's not going to happen. Everybody tries to dig up dirt on their opponents. Now, you don't inject a foreign government, but President Trump can rightly say, I was looking into corruption attached to the Ukrainian government that influenced the United States. And we know Joe Biden, we know that story. So there's a legitimacy to the president's position. I can't read his mind. I don't know what his intent was, but certainly what he says his intent was has to be taken seriously. Now, the other thing about this impeachment thing this week is that all of the testimony in front of the House Intelligence Committee is secret. The reason the Democrats are doing that is they can leak little parts of the testimony out to the press to make it look like President Trump is being hammered in those hearings, when that might not be true. You're not supposed to leak, and that's what Durham is investigating, but the Congress people leak all the time. And it's different, by the way, with a congressional leak than a FBI, CIA leak. It's a different thing. Although you can get in trouble if you're a congressperson leaking in the ethics committee. whatever that is. So summing up, impeachment is being used to blunt the State Department investigation into massive corruption, trying to undermine the Trump campaign and the Trump presidency. That will be the big story of 2020 in addition to the presidential race. And it could help President Trump very much. That's the Talking Points Memo. I'm Bill O'Reilly for Newsmax. We'll see you soon.